What if I told you that the oil in your engine could be the difference between a car that runs smoothly for 500,000 miles and one that fails before 145,000? Most people still believe synthetic oil is just a more expensive version of regular oil, but the truth is far more interesting and, in some cases, surprising. Synthetic oil isn't just cooked up in a lab, it's engineered on a molecular level to handle stress that conventional oil can't. That's why airplanes, race cars, and high-performance engines rely on it all time. But here's the twist. Not everything you've heard about synthetic oil is true. From myths about causing leaks in older engines to confusion over switching back and forth, there's a lot of misinformation out there. If you're someone who cares about protecting your vehicle with real facts instead of marketing hype, hit that subscribe button right now. It's shocking that over 95% of viewers don't subscribe. Subscribing costs you nothing but helps us keep bringing you content that oil companies and dealers do not want you to see. So let's get to the first fact. Synthetic versus conventional. What really makes them different? At first glance, synthetic oil looks like any other motor oil. Same golden color, same viscosity labels, same job. But under a microscope, the differences are dramatic. Conventional oil comes straight from refined crude. It's a natural product, which means its molecules vary wildly in size and shape. That inconsistency leads to uneven lubrication, faster breakdown under heat, and more sludge buildup over time. Synthetic oil, on the other hand, is engineered. Chemists design its molecules to be uniform and consistent. That precision means smoother flow, less friction, and stronger resistance to oxidation. The result? Oil that doesn't break down as quickly, holds its viscosity longer, and protects engines better under stress. In fact, tests have shown synthetic oils resist thermal breakdown up to 50% better than conventional oils. This doesn't just matter for performance cars. Even in everyday driving, the benefits add up: cleaner engines, fewer deposits, and less wear on critical parts. Over thousands of miles, synthetic oil reduces internal friction so efficiently that it can even slightly improve your fuel economy. Next up, let's break down one of the biggest myths about it. The idea that once you switch to synthetic, you can never go back. This is one of the longest-running myths in the car world. The idea is that if you start using synthetic oil, your engine somehow becomes dependent on it, and switching back to conventional will cause damage. The truth? That's not how oil works. Engines don't form an addiction to one type of lubricant. What really matters is that the oil meets the correct specifications for your car, things like viscosity grade, 5W30, 0W20, and industry certifications. If both oils meet those requirements, your engine will run just fine on either. So where did this myth come from? Back in the early days of synthetics, some drivers experienced leaks when switching over. But the problem wasn't that synthetic caused the leaks, it was that it cleaned out old sludge that had been masking weak seals. Once that sludge dissolved, existing leaks became visible. Modern seal conditioners in both conventional and synthetic oils prevent this issue almost entirely. Today, you can mix or switch between them safely. But the bigger question is, why would you want to when synthetic handles extreme conditions so much better? Engines rarely live in perfect conditions. They face freezing winter mornings, scorching summer heat, and endless stop-and-go traffic. Conventional oil struggles at both ends of the temperature spectrum. In extreme cold, its uneven molecules thicken and resist flowing, meaning metal parts grind against each other before lubrication reaches them. In extreme heat, it oxidizes faster, thinning out and losing its protective film. Synthetic oil is engineered to avoid those problems. Its uniform molecules keep viscosity stable. In cold weather, synthetics flow more easily, allowing instant lubrication during cold starts, the moment when most engine wear occurs. In hot conditions, synthetics resist breakdown, maintaining their strength even when engine parts are running at hundreds of degrees. On a sub-zero morning, synthetics can pump through the system more than twice as fast as conventional oil, drastically reducing startup wear. For everyday drivers, that translates into smoother starts, better protection on road trips, and longer engine life. Finally, let's tackle one of the most debated claims. Does synthetic oil really let you go longer between oil changes? Oil brands and some dealers advertise drain intervals of 7,500, 10,000, or even 15,000 miles. But is that real, or just clever marketing? The truth is somewhere in between. Synthetic oil really does resist breakdown better. In lab conditions, it can maintain protection far longer than conventional oils. But here's the catch. Your car doesn't live in a lab. Driving habits, climate, and engine design all affect how fast oil degrades. Frequent short trips in cold weather create moisture and fuel dilution that no oil can completely resist. On the other hand, a highway commuter in a modern engine can safely stretch beyond the old 3,000-mile rule. The best approach is to consult your owner's manual and consider your driving style. Don't blindly trust a number on a bottle. For most modern cars, the sweet spot is actually between 5,000 and 7,500 miles. Some can stretch to 10,000 under absolutely perfect conditions. Think long, steady highway driving. Going further? That's risky unless you're regularly sending your oil out for analysis to prove it's still healthy. So yes, synthetic oil supports longer drain intervals, but it's all about balance, not a blank check to forget about your engine. Next, let's look at that aisle in the auto parts store. You've got full synthetic, and then you have synthetic blend. It sounds like the perfect middle ground, right? Better than conventional, but cheaper than full synthetic. But what's actually in the bottle? A blend is a mix of conventional and synthetic oil, but here's the catch. Manufacturers almost never tell you the ratio. It could be as little as 10% synthetic. That inconsistency makes blends unpredictable. While they're a small step up from conventional, they don't give you the full protection you get from a 100% synthetic oil, especially in extreme heat or under heavy load. Honestly, for the few extra bucks a full synthetic costs, the long-term value and peace of mind are almost always worth it. Now, what about older high-mileage engines? There's this old myth that you should stick to conventional oil or that switching to synthetic will cause problems. The reality? Modern high-mileage synthetic oils can actually be a lifeline for an aging engine. Over time, engine seals harden and shrink, leading to leaks. High-mileage synthetics contain special conditioners that rehydrate those seals, helping to stop or slow leaks. Plus, they're fantastic at cleaning out the gunk and sludge that build up over the years, helping your engine run cleaner and more efficiently. The one thing to watch for? If an engine is already full of sludge, a strong synthetic can clean it out and reveal leaks that the gunk was plugging. But for most well-maintained older cars, a high-mileage synthetic is one of the best things you can do for it. Let's move on to the most critical moment for your engine, the cold start. The vast majority of engine wear happens in the first few seconds after you turn the key. Why? Because the oil has drained down into the pan, leaving metal parts temporarily unprotected. In cold weather, conventional oil thickens up like molasses, making that dry period even longer. This is where synthetic oil is a total game changer. Its engineered molecules stay fluid even at freezing temperatures, flowing almost instantly to coat bearings, cams, and cylinders. Tests show that synthetics flow dramatically better in the cold, drastically reducing that metal-on-metal wear at startup. Even if you don't live in a snowy climate, every start is a cold start, and minimizing that wear adds up to a much longer engine life. This brings us to the biggest myth of all. Synthetic oil causes leaks in older engines. You've heard it, I've heard it, but it's just not true. Synthetic oil itself does not cause leaks. What it does do is clean. Over years of using conventional oil, sludge can build up and actually plug up worn-out seals. When you switch to a superior synthetic oil, its detergents get to work and clean away that gunk, revealing a pre-existing leak. People blame the new oil, but the problem was already there, just hidden. In fact, modern high-mileage synthetics have conditioners to help prevent leaks. So don't be afraid to switch. You're not creating a problem, you're just uncovering one that needs to be fixed. Finally, let's talk about what makes synthetic oil so special. It's not just the base oil, it's the additives. Up to 30% of what's in that bottle is a complex cocktail of chemicals. You have detergents to keep things clean, anti-wear agents to protect metal surfaces, viscosity improvers to maintain flow in all temperatures, and antioxidants to prevent the oil from breaking down. This is especially critical for turbocharged engines. A turbo spins incredibly fast and gets extremely hot, hot enough to literally cook conventional oil into carbon deposits, a problem called coking that can destroy a turbo. Synthetic oil's stability at high temperatures prevents this, which is why virtually every modern turbocharged car requires it from the factory. If you have a turbo, synthetic isn't an upgrade. It's a necessity. So there you have it. Synthetic oil isn't magic, but it is superior science. It cleans better, protects better under extreme temperatures, and flows better when your engine needs it most. Let's meet for part 2 to wrap up things on remaining section. Thanks for watching. If this helped clear things up for you, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more automotive tips and deep dives. See you in the next one.